You've heard of the SAS, the Special Air Service. You've seen the headlines of the SBS, the Special Boat Service. What about the rest of the UKSF, the United Kingdom Special Forces? Operating in silence, doing the jobs that no one else can do. In this video, we're going to take a look at and break down the SAS, the SBS, the SRR, 18 Signals, and the Special Forces Support Group. We're going to cover how they were formed, what do they actually do, what does their selection look like, and how do they operate. We'll even dive into a little bit about the reserves and how they play a crucial role within the UKSF system. And here's the truth that no one wants to hear. These units don't succeed because they're the biggest, strongest, or loudest. They succeed because they are the best at the basics. What is UKSF? UK Special Forces, or UKSF, isn't just one unit. It's a collection of elite regiments under command of the Director Special Forces, DSF. These core units then, the Special Air Service, the SAS, the most famous in the world. You've then got the Special Boat Service, the SBS, the Special Reconnaissance Regiment, SRR. Then you've got 18 UKSF Signals Regiment, and then you've got the Special Forces Support Group, SFSG. Between these units then, they cover everything from high profile hostage rescue to covert surveillance to global communications and close combat direct action. And supporting them, you've got the reserve units, trained and integrated to a very high and same standard, ready to step in when called upon. The Special Air Service. The SAS was founded in 1941 by David Sterling, a man who believed in small teams, working behind enemy lines, and that they could do more damage than an entire division. They blew up aircraft, sabotaged convoys, and became the prototype for modern day special forces. Today, the SAS is the UK's primary land-based special forces unit, specialising in counter-terrorism, hostage rescue, covert deep reconnaissance, and eliminating those high-value targets. The world watched in awe during the 1980 Iranian embassy siege. Black-clad operators, lightning-fast breaches, and hostage rescue in under 20 minutes. That wasn't luck. That was discipline and controlled aggression. Who joins the SAS then? They come from across all the services, but a majority of them actually come from the Parachute Regiment, and I've heard even the Scots. If you've got what it takes, you've got the grit, you've got a shot. The reserve element then is made up of 2-1 SAS and 2-3 SAS. These are a national recruited Army Reserve regiments from across the UK. Okay, these aren't your ceremonial roles. They are trained to support on operations and can deploy on missions with the regular Special Forces guys. The Special Boat Service. The SBS was actually born out of the Royal Marines in 1940, originally sneaking into harbours in collapsed canoes to plant mines. Today, they are the UK's Maritime Special Forces unit. But don't get confused, these guys can fight on land, air and sea. Some of their core tasks could then be maritime counter-terrorism, ship seizures, submarine insertions, beach reconnaissance, underwater demolitions, and the same as the SAS, counter-terrorism, direct action, and covert reconnaissance. Formerly just drawn from the Royal Marine Commandos, they are still mainly made up of the Royal Marine Commandos, but they also do recruit from across all of the services, all trades, all units. They again do have a reserve component. They've got an SBS reserve that includes personnel attached to the SBS for support and specialist roles. SAS and SB selection. SAS and SB actually have a joint selection process. This is run twice a year, your summer and your winter courses, and can consist of anywhere between 200 and 300 personnel. And out of them, approximately only 5 to 10% actually make it, pass and badge. You get a lot of guys from the Paras, Marines, Gurkhas and even the Scots. But like I said earlier, this is tri-service, all trades can attempt and pass the selection. You've got the hill phase. This is you versus the map, you versus yourself. Load carrying across arduous terrain, navigating by yourself in all weather conditions, just you and your mind. If you're lucky enough to be part of the few that actually make it past the hills phase, you're then going to move into the jungle phase. This is horrendous. Heat, rain, sweat, 100% humidity, infection, even heavier loads than what you're carrying on the hill phase, and just the instructors looking at you 24/7. Then if you're part of the even fewer people that make it through the jungle phase, you're then going to go into severe survival, evade, resist and extract, and all the continuation training. This is tactical skills, ranges, parachuting, driving, close quarter battle, and much, much more. And if you make it past all of that, then you might be lucky enough to badge. Why do a lot of people possibly fail then? It might not just be because they were too slow. It could be because they couldn't handle the pressure. They make mistakes. It's about mastering the basics. SF are just the best at the basics. The Special Reconnaissance Regiment, SRR. Before we get into these, if you do want to hear some great stories about SRR, head over to Ryan Forrest, formerly Gen Dick Commando, who's doing some great podcasts and great videos with a former SRR operator. The SRR isn't about direct action. This is about intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance, not like you've ever seen it before. They are the eyes and ears of the UKSF. Newly formed back in 2005, okay? These guys were born out of legacy surveillance units from Northern Ireland. We're talking urban and rural surveillance, tracking terror suspects, infiltrating hostile networks, okay? This is supporting the SAS and the SBS, MI5, MI6. This is deep reconnaissance and surveillance, integrating with the enemy, being right up close. These guys don't wear camo, they blend in. Civilians, balaclavas, the lots. The SRR operators could be stood next to you at the bus stop, tailing you in a vehicle, logging every movement you make. And they're looking for something completely different. They're looking at your personality, your memory recall, navigation, cultural adaptability, discretion, discipline. Do you fit in? Do you stand out? SRR is also the only UKSF unit at the moment that actually has serving female operators. Yes, females can attempt all UKSF selection now, as for the wider army as well, wider armed forces, but they've actually got serving female operators that are conducting covert surveillance for the regiment. 18 UKSF Signals Regiment. This is your comms guys. Formed in 2005, they provide the communication, cyber and technical support to all UKSF operations. Once again, these are formed from regulars from across all three services, okay? Army, Royal Navy and the Royal Air Force. Their selection process looks something similar to a 3-week SFSC prep course. You then got a 5-day briefing course, followed by, if you make it past that, a 25-week UKSF communicators course. These guys are then going to conduct the hills, and then they're going to go into their technical sort of trade skills, general support comms, close support field comms, alongside sort of specialist training, military training, and SF sort of parachute training, so they can integrate with the SAS and SBS guys. Yes, these guys may be the geeks with the radios, but they're just as qualified as operators to fit in with the SAS and the SBS. Special Forces Support Group, the SFSG. When SAS and SBS go in, they're often needed support on the ground, and that's the job of the Special Forces Support Group. Formed in 2006, the SFSG provides fire support, cordons, QRF, so your quick reaction force, convoy escorts, target securing, and I've even heard of them kicking in doors and doing direct raid action, just exactly the same as the SAS. If they need support, SFSG are there behind them. These guys are made up of 1 Para, Royal Marines and RAF Regiment. These guys aren't just your standard infantry bods with rifles. They're trained to work directly alongside UKSF teams. They're not just there to provide cordons, they will work directly alongside them. They fight with tier 1 level aggression and precision. Why are they the best? They're not born special. They train hard, they live hard, and they give their absolute all to pass and selection. It's not about the biceps or the boot size. It's about shooting straight under pressure, being able to navigate when you're exhausted, staying calm in all of the chaos, being able to communicate clearly, fighting when outnumbered, moving undetected, but overall mastering the basics. These guys have led from the front from day one, and so many other SF units from around the world are modelled off our UK Special Forces. These guys do it the absolute best. If you're thinking about joining, attempting selection, go for it. Train hard, train smart, and you need to be able to give it your all. These guys are consistent and they're reliable. They're not superheroes, they're just professionals. They're out there doing the job, mastering the basics. Hope you like this little breakdown of all the UKSF units. We're going to break down each unit even more in future videos. Remember to subscribe, turn notifications bell on, head over to combatreadyhq to check out our amazing tasting coffee, some of our t-shirts and much more. Thanks for all your continued support. Never be beaten.